Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are diving into something absolutely fascinating in the modern media world. We're going to unpack the brilliant strategy behind the Colorado Creative Network, or CCN, as we'll call it. If you've ever found yourself wondering how these modern streaming platforms are actually built, localized, and then turned into highly successful business models, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to explore how this incredibly innovative company is pitching itself as a low-risk, high-reward media empire. Honestly, it's just a fantastic case study in taking an existing framework and scaling it into something with massive, massive potential.
Okay, let's dive right into this and lay out our roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at this new era of broadcasting. Then we'll meet the visionary founders, check out their premium local programming, and talk about how they're engaging the community. After that, we'll break down the infinite revenue potential, and finally, look at the future of CCN. So, Section 1, a new era of broadcasting. Let's look at the strategic blueprint here.
And this brilliantly illustrates the new brand identity. For anyone who maybe doesn't have a background in tech or media, the whole idea of starting a television network probably sounds impossibly complex, right? Like a multi-million-dollar headache. But technology has literally completely leveled the playing field. Instead of needing massive broadcasting towers and wildly expensive satellites, a localized streaming channel operates entirely through the internet, which is incredibly cost-effective. CCN has perfectly capitalized on this. Their whole network is already built and actually operating right now on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. And just to clarify for the non-tech folks out there, those are just simple devices you plug right into your television to watch on-demand apps, exactly like you'd watch Netflix or Hulu. So, CCN has already bypassed the hardest part. The infrastructure is live, it's sleek, and it's completely ready for viewers to tune in. Now, a massive turning point for this network, which, by the way, was originally called the Pueblo Creative Network, happened during a really strategic ownership transition. Basically, the previous co-owner, John Jones, moved out of state, and this created a total golden opportunity. The current leadership swooped in and acquired his shares for a highly favorable, though confidential, purchase price. And this buyout was huge. It basically allowed the two remaining visionaries to completely restructure the company into a unified, totally equal 50-50 partnership. And the best part, both of these partners are entirely committed to growing this network for the long haul.
What makes this whole business transition so incredibly exciting, especially if you're looking at it as a pitch, is this very real concept of minimal risk with absolutely infinite potential. Because that streaming foundation on Roku and Apple TV is already up and running, the month-to-month maintenance costs are actually incredibly low. They aren't starting from scratch and burning through millions of dollars just trying to get the tech to work. The pipes are already laid. So now, literally every single new viewer they attract and every new advertiser they bring on board represents pure, scalable growth.
Moving on to Section 2, meet the visionary founders. Let's talk about this perfect synergy. As we all know, any great business is really only as strong as the people running it. And this newly established 50-50 partnership at the helm of CCN, it represents a literal perfect synergy of skill sets. These two guys possess entirely different but totally complementary areas of expertise. On one hand, you have Douglas Starner. Douglas is the creative and technical backbone of the whole operation. He brings these brilliant comedic ideas to the table. But crucial to the business, he has deep, hands-on experience in video production and editing. He knows exactly how to make everything look incredibly professional on screen. On the other hand, you have Michael Swain. Michael is heavily involved in the Denver, Colorado scene. He has this wildly energetic, super likable aura and elite communication skills. He is essentially the ultimate frontman. So you pair the technical production mastermind with the charismatic, deeply connected community leader, and you have the exact formula you need to build a modern media empire. All right, Section 3, Premium Colorado Programming. Let's look at the exclusive local shows they're cooking up. Obviously, a network is basically nothing without content that keeps people actually glued to their screens, right? Well, CCN has developed this robust slate of short-term and long-term programming designed specifically to hook local audiences by giving them stuff they just cannot find anywhere else. Douglas is championing a daily news broadcast focused strictly on local Colorado issues. Plus, they're doing dedicated coverage of high school sports. I mean, imagine broadcasting local Friday night football games to the entire state. They are also tapping into the local art scene, showcasing Colorado's stand-up comedy and theatrical plays. And leaning into his totally unique energy, Michael Swain is developing this one-of-a-kind food review show where he invites guest hip-hop artists to come do these fun, unpredictable activities with him. It is fresh, it's localized, and it's going to be highly entertaining.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that CCN's commitment goes way beyond just entertainment. They are bringing in genuine authorities for expert-driven programming. For example, they're developing this incredible military history show, and it's going to be hosted or written by Claude Doug Sterner, who actually happens to be Douglas's father. He is a two-tour Vietnam veteran and recognized as one of the most published military authors of all time. By putting real, credentialed experts like him on the screen, CCN immediately elevates the prestige and the educational value of the entire network. Let's jump into Section 4, Engaging the Community. How they're driving active participation. You know, traditional TV is super passive, but the future of streaming, it's active. So I want you to think about this question. How do we keep viewers hooked and interacting daily? Because if you just put a show on, somebody might tune in once a week. But if you make them a part of the show itself, they are going to check your app every single day. And CCN's strategy to answer this is honestly brilliant. They are creating a completely interactive ecosystem. Take Michael Swain's pitched competitive show called Keep It 100. Viewers aren't just going to sit back and watch it. They'll actually vote online or call a dedicated phone number to decide the episode's winners. But it goes even further than entertainment. They're launching these live call-in formats. Think of it like an old-school homework hotline, but for adult professional development. Imagine a 6-week course on marketing your personal image or building a killer resume, where Colorado residents can literally call in live and talk directly to the instructor. It completely transforms the network from a basic video player into a vital, daily community hub. Okay, Section 5, Infinite Revenue Potential. Let's talk about infinite scaling and the business model. So the crucial point is, how do you take this highly engaged streaming platform and turn it into massive financial success? Well, it all comes down to leveraging that hyper-local engagement. Advertising on a strictly local network has immense high conversion value. Just think about it. If you want a plumbing business or a local restaurant in Colorado, buying an ad on national television is insanely expensive and frankly mostly wasted on people who live thousands of miles away. But with CCN, every single person watching lives, works, and spends their money right in Colorado. It is the perfect targeted audience. And because Douglas is a production expert, CCN isn't just selling empty ad space. They're actually offering full-service premium video production to shoot and edit the commercials for these local businesses. Let's break down exactly how this generates serious revenue. And even if you have zero business or media knowledge, this scaling is super easy to understand. A small local mom-and-pop shop can grab an entry-level ad placement for just $100 a month. Low barrier to entry. But as a business grows, they can pay $2,000 a month for CCN to literally come out, shoot, and professionally edit a custom commercial. And then at the very high end, for $3,000 a month, a business gets the premium showcase. That means their 1-minute and 20-second commercial plays across a majority of the platform's videos, which basically guarantees massive visibility and clicks. By offering these specific scaling packages, CCN can monetize Colorado businesses of literally every single size. And advertising is literally just the first pillar. We're looking at a multifaceted revenue machine here. As their library of really high-quality content grows, CCN plans to introduce a premium subscription tier down the road, probably around $5.99 a month, which will create a beautiful, steady stream of recurring revenue. Furthermore, they are opening the door for independent artists and creators to actually pay a fee to host their own content on the platform. Those creators get to use CCN's massive built-in audience for exposure. It's this perfect win-win that drives the platform's revenue way up while keeping their overhead incredibly low. Finally, Section 6, the future of CCN, the roadmap for technological expansion. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the moves Michael and Douglas are making today are really just the foundation for massive technological expansion tomorrow. They are not thinking small here. They are thinking like a major tech company. Short term, the goal is completing the transition and app interface restructure from the old Pueblo Creative Network to the sleek new Colorado Creative Network. As we hit the 1-year mark and that audience base really swells, that $5.99 monthly premium subscription will roll out. But the long-term vision, the absolute game changer, is developing native, downloadable apps directly on the Google Play Store and the Apple iOS Store. This is going to put CCN right into the pockets of millions of smartphone users, multiplying their reach and their monetary potential exponentially.
So, we've seen the already built streaming infrastructure, we've seen the incredible synergy of these visionary founders, the hyper-local interactive programming, and a highly scalable business model for both ads and subscriptions. The pieces are literally all in place. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to consider. With the technological foundation already built and an entire state full of viewers hungry for content that reflects their own community, Are you beginning to see how localized streaming is the undeniable future of media? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on the Colorado Creative Network.